Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here today. I'm, of course, Greg Guy, joined here by Mr. Casey, Mr. Cuz. We'll be doing episode 12 of the Bangcast here this week. Now, on this particular week, obviously, we are not recording on our normal day. Unfortunately, there was a winter weather event that happened, and but we were still able to come together the day after. So, here we are. Thoughts and opinions on winter. I think it fucking sucks.
I prefer winter over summer.
What?
Get out of my house.
That's because he can close the blinds and hide.
No, it's because
I got a reason my dick's so small. It's cold outside.
My body runs hot in general, so I'm fine being outside in the winter for the most part. But in the summertime, I am not worth a crap because I cannot operate in the heat.
I can sweat my ass off. I cannot be cold.
Yeah,
I'm the exact opposite.
I'm the same way. Because once you start sweating in the cold, then it just sucks.
What? Sweating in the cold?
You never sweated while you're in the cold?
Well, yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying is I prefer warm weather because I can sweat. I'm fine. But as soon as it's cold, I don't like cold.
You don't sweat in the cold?
Depends on what you're doing, but
And it sucks.
you can always also layer accordingly.
It still sucks.
It does suck, but
I mean, they both suck. Both summer and winter both suck.
They
But
both suck equally.
I think summer
I don't
sucks
think
more.
they suck. I think winter sucks more. That's personal opinion. Obviously, biased, everything. Anyway, moving on. Episode 12 of the Vetcast. We are going to discuss here this week, continuing on with like our entertainment kind of month. I think we're kind of doing. We're going to talk about like television shows, whether it be network, cable, streaming, whatever we're watching. And in particular, what made me really want to talk about this was the fact that I heard a story that Amazon Prime was like dropping something ridiculous to the extent of $465 million for one season of their new Lord of the Rings shows. To me, that's just a stupid amount of money
For one season?
for one season of a television show. Whether those, numbers and reports are accurate to, take it with a grain of salt. But think about it, like almost $500 million.
But you think that $120 million is kind of probably low for funding a feature movie, right?
A movie.
Triple A.
Yeah,
A movie.
a AAA movie. I mean, this is going to be a AAA
Okay.
style show, right?
Yeah.
And then each show is probably going to be about an hour apiece. And you said there's 8 episodes in most.
Well, Prime Video, that's...
Are they going to release the whole season?
Most of their stuff is like 8 episodes to a season.
So
if
we're saying,
it goes on the same metric of 8 episodes, that's like 60 million an episode.
So that's basically half a movie, and a movie is probably about 2 hours long, right? So that's along the same lines as it would cost to make a movie in general.
I would think that for the most part, rather, it would cost that $120 million for like a 3-hour full length.
You
I
rarely
would
get
think.
3 hours.
Well,
I know nowadays you do. Yeah.
120 is on the kind of the low end of a AAA movie, though. It can cost a lot more, especially if you have stars and stuff like that. But I do know that apparently there's not very many big stars in this Lord of the Rings show.
Right. Well, I mean, and that's the one thing about Amazon Video in general that I have noticed, because I do watch a couple of their shows. don't really use like big name actors and actresses.
Right.
It's still cool though. It's cool that they find actors and actresses to, if they're good, it puts them out there. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing is, most of the time they're not good actors.
I mean, some of them are.
Some of them are, but most of them are not.
I mean, think about it. It's a law of probability. At some point in time, you're going to find a gem in there.
Right.
And this little known Amazon Prime Video TV show that they're doing is going to propel them to major motion pictures and everything.
Right. So it gives more people a chance to.
Yeah. I mean, I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, what really is mind-boggling to me about the whole Lord of the Rings series on Prime and everything is the fact that they spent that amount of money with not spending that amount of money on casting. So what is the graphics? What is the video quality and everything? What is about to?
I personally don't really have an interest in watching the new Lord of the Rings show at
It's
all.
not a movie though. It's a television show. That's the only thing that is kind of like a.
I mean, they made the movies. The movies are fine with me. I read the books. I don't really have any interest in watching the.
You actually read the books?
Yeah.
No.
You did all that, but you're not going to watch the
Readings
show?
for chumps.
I mean,
I don't know about all that.
unless somebody comes out and tells me that they're like the greatest, it's like one of the greatest shows they've ever seen, I'm not.
So
really
you're going to wait
interested.
for.
Well, I'm that way with almost everything nowadays. As bad as from shows to movies and to certain video games been coming out lately. I think it's just better in general to wait until somebody tells me that something's good rather than waste my time watching something that I think's going to be good and ends up being trash.
But then again, someone could tell you it was good and you'll think it's trash and you watch it. It's all a matter of personal opinion.
Well, in general, if you go on to like an IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes, if what are the professionals? What are they called? The
critics.
The critics. If the critics say it's good, it's probably garbage, and the fans are probably more along the lines of what you want to go.
And that's
with.
not always true either.
90% of the time, it's true.
No, you know what I do nowadays? I look at like actual videos, like for video games, not just TV shows. But you can do the same thing. Is look at a clip, and you can kind of get a baseline of what it is.
It really doesn't tell you the intricacies.
The problem with that is, half the time it's just, and they always use this clause like, shot with in-game engine footage or whatever.
Well, no, actual gameplay.
Actual
gameplay.
Well,
how often do you actually see one of those come up?
A lot more than you think.
Nah.
When people, so there's certain people that review video games out there that'll put gameplay, and they'll give you their opinion, but the whole time they're letting
Good for video games.
I'm just saying, you can do the same thing with a movie. Watch a clip of it, and see if you.
And movies. Talk about TV shows.
TV shows. Whatever the medium is at that point in time.
In general, critics aren't looking for the same things as normal viewers are in the shows and the games and all that stuff.
They're critics for a reason.
I mean, they're not really critics for any reason other than some.
Well, that's more or less just them trying to, shill an opinion out there to get them more clicks and views or whatever.
I guess.
Moving on. Next thing I want to, discuss and bring up. I don't know how familiar each of you are with the Prime Video and what they got going on over there nowadays.
It's okay.
I don't know any news about Prime Video. I just whatever's on.
Have you been watching any of their news stuff they've been coming out with?
I watched
curiosity?
Wheel of Time. It made me absolutely angry because they're not sticking to the source material.
Okay, so this, once again, coming from someone who probably
read
a book.
Yeah. Wheel of Time.
How's that any different
Wheel of
than
Time
from like Game of Thrones or
absolutely
anything?
garbage.
Though? I mean.
I never read the Game of Thrones books, but I've been told that they're very good. And most people that have read the books have said that show is fairly decent, although they combine characters and stuff like that. But Wheel of Time is absolutely not sticking to the source material, and it mainly the problem is that Wheel of Time, the story in the books is based upon the differences between men and women and how they support each other, and that is in today's day and age, that's not acceptable in the mainstream ideals.
Okay, fair enough.
Are the women really muscular in the show?
The problem is that, for example, the main person in the show is a man, and it was always meant to be a man, basically because that's in men that use magic in the books, they go mad, and women in the story are the ones that generally use magic. But the problem in today's media nowadays is that a man is not allowed to be stronger than a woman.
It's kind of like a societal.
Right. And that's what's basically ruining the show, is that the main...
They don't want to push that narrative too much.
Right.
I have, like, even if they don't want to, like, go straight down the, like, fuck men route, they'll subtly put it in things.
Yeah.
At the same point in time, I would assume they would gladly go down that route.
Yeah, but they want more viewers,
But, at the same point in time, what they don't want is to discourage women from... Because it's a trade-off, as,
Right, but you still want the men to watch it.
You need both sides.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You put it in there very subtly. Not too aggressive, like some movies and shows do.
Alright, well, I mean, that was just one example of
Right.
a particular show that is on Prime Video. Let's talk about another one. The Boys.
I think I watched the first season. I think.
The Boys.
It was pretty good.
One of the only good shows they make. Season 3 is coming out. I told you that they have 3 times the amount of blood they use, right?
I'm telling you right now. Okay, I believe my favorite thing I've seen, obviously, total spoiler alert, was when they were like breaking into that one facility and the guy with the fucking dick that fucking strangled the fucking dude. It's like, there's a dick around my neck.
I do not remember that part.
Yeah, it was from season 2.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, in comic books, he plays a bigger role. He's in it more.
Yeah, I don't know, but I am super, super stoked for season 2 coming out. You can't tell me that shit is not fucking funny.
So season 2 hasn't come out yet?
Season 2 is already out.
No.
Season 3 is about to come out.
Okay.
You're way behind.
Yeah,
Dude, you gotta watch season 2.
Yeah.
That's when,
it's good. And then what's his name? The guy, the sea guy, fucking the wannabe Aquaman dude, fucking just comes up and plows into the fucking
the
whale.
Deep is probably my favorite character. Yeah.
Oh.
The Deep is probably my favorite character.
Woo.
And they just like throw him in there randomly. He's like, he's probably...
He's got a bigger role in season 2 because he's trying to make it back.
Yeah, trying to make it back. He's like,
I'm trying to get back on the mainstream.
A B-list fucking superhero.
Yeah. The Boys.
Yeah.
It's quality entertainment.
Yeah, he's by far the best part of the Boys, I think.
I don't know about that.
I think
Butcher.
Nah, Butcher's good, but I don't know, dude.
I don't know. Just I mean, his word. I mean, the way he uses words is just amazing to me.
From only watching the first season, the person that made the show is the Psycho, the Superman style person.
Oh yeah, well you definitely gotta watch the second season, man.
he makes the show. If without him, the show
Talk about
is
Homelander.
the show is really nothing without Homelander.
I don't know.
I mean, just imagine if Homelander wasn't in the show, The show wouldn't even, there wouldn't be any, like, he's the main antagonist of the entire show.
Yeah, but they could always put somebody else in there. Like, that's a generic superhero. Like, when I think of, like, a lead role in superhero, you could put Henry Cavill and fucking... He'll pull it off. You could basically put any masculine man in a superhero costume.
Right, but, I mean, what he's saying is it's the character, it's not the actor.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm talking about the actors in the show. For me, it's the guy that plays the Deep. For sure. He nails that character.
Well, he's more of like a supporting actor. I mean, without him being in the show, it might be less entertaining, but the show would still go on.
Like, there'll be times
and also at the same point in time, yes, he's probably only actually been in, like, probably... Okay, if they have 2 seasons, that's 16 episodes they have out. He's probably only been in about 6 of them.
Doesn't matter. He's my favorite character out of the whole show.
Fair enough.
Invincible.
It's cartoons. We actually talked about that the other week.
I don't care. It's still...
So I have some top 5 IMDb rated shows. If you want to go along those lines.
If we want to, all right.
All right. So let's go with let's start with number 5. You guys can comment whatever you want. I got Rick and Morty is number 5 rated show on IMDb from 2013 to present.
You never even watched that show, have you?
I
told you a bunch of times.
It is a great show. I do love Rick and Morty.
I've never seen him my entire life.
You would love Rick.
Yeah, I think you would love the show, especially Rick. I think you would definitely love Rick.
Yeah. You would love Rick.
He's a mad genius scientist.
He's a nihilistic scientist.
Gee, Ray, what are we going to do today?
He's the smartest.
He's
the smartest.
Smartest being in the world.
No, not even in the world.
In the universe.
We're
going
right.
to try
He's not even listening.
take over the world.
You want to talk about Pinky and the Brain? Alright, well then let us talk about
We've done an Animaniacs rant down here.
Yeah.
This was a great show also.
Gee, Brain, what are we going to do today?
Yeah, definitely the relationship...
Fight around the world with Corey Flagel!
The relationship between Rick and Morty were kind of like, in some sense, the Pinky and the Brain style relationship.
Kind of, yeah.
Fair enough.
The 4th ranked show on IMDb is Game of Thrones. Although the final season is not ranked very well.
Right. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and touch on this because I actually love Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I mean I loved it too.
I thought it was fucking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it's definitely a show that I would recommend people to watch, as well as Rick and Morty.
The only part of Game of Thrones I think I remember is when they had the hole in the castle and they dropped that dude out of the hole.
Oh, the moon door thing.
The moon door thing, yeah.
Right, that was like the first season.
Yeah, that was the only time I've ever watched it.
It's definitely a good show.
Yeah, on top of that, they're also like they're in early production on their prequel.
They've been saying that
spin-off.
for a long time. Though.
But I think they actually put a trailer out to where it's supposed to be out at some point in time before the end of the year, which means it'll probably be out early next year.
I'll believe it when I see it.
It's I mean they've already shot footage, so it's happening. That's going to be interesting.
Will it come out?
It'll come out, yeah, sure. But I mean, the question is, how much are they going to flush out the backstory, and how far back do they go? That's what I'm interested to see, and hear more information about, just in general.
I mean, I've not, like I said, I've never read the books, but I've watched a lot of videos on the history of Game of Thrones, so I already know basically how the story goes. Because I was interested from watching the show. I consumed a lot of material.
Yes, well, I mean, like I said, it's going to be a prequel to the show, so I believe that it's mainly going to be about, like, the Targaryens when they, came over and conquered Westeros. I think they call it.
The number 3 highest rated show I've honestly never seen. It is a cartoon, Avatar: The Last Airbender. I have never seen it.
Me neither.
Avatar?
Yeah.
Like
I mean, we saw the movie. I'm sure I saw the movie, but
is
it's a cartoon.
related to the
Avatar,
movie?
the last Airbender also?
Yeah, there's aired 2005 to 2008, so about 3 years. I don't know what it's on.
And it's
I've
number
never seen
3.
It is
And
number
It was
3
only
highest
out for
rated.
3 years.
Right. So I mean, it might be something worth looking into to see how good it actually is. But
Let you be the critic on this one and you report back to...
I mean, I gotta find it first. And by the way, I don't have Netflix or Hulu or any of that stuff.
If you know where to find Avatar: The Last Airbender, let us know down in the comments below. And of course, as always, remember to like, share.
And subscribe.
Hit that bell button.
Number two ranked show, or number 3, I'm sorry, is The Wire. I know I've seen this, and I know Greg has seen this.
Number 3 or number 2?
Or number 3.
Okay, well, what?
Or number 2, I'm sorry, number 2. I'm wrong.
I was like, all right, what about Avatar: The Last Airbender? Wait.
I had something written on top of it, so it kind of threw
Okay,
me
number
off.
2 was The Wire? Really?
Yeah, number 2 rated show that on IMDb is The Wire.
All I can say is,
It is a good show.
fucking Omar.
Yeah.
I've never seen The Wire.
Omar.
Yeah, well, Wire's a really good show.
It is.
Definitely, I mean, all of these shows.
And on top of that, it's local to us,
Yeah.
too. It's about, selling drugs in Baltimore.
Oh, well, okay.
If you have HBO Max, or I think that's what it's on, then it's
Yeah,
definitely a
HBO.
show you can just watch anytime.
It was HBO. I think it came out, like, right around, like, 2000 time frame.
Oh, like around the same time that was that prison show?
I don't know.
Oh, Oz.
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 I've never seen Oz.
I've never seen Oz either.
Oh, it's... it was like one of those shows that started all this shit that is today. You know what I mean?
Now, I believe Oz came after The Wire.
I don't even know what Oz is.
Oz was a show that they made about a bunch of people in prison,
Right.
and
Is it real life or is it fake?
it's fake.
It's fake, but
Yeah, I mean, it's fictional, but
Okay.
it's, you kind of can probably assume.
And my favorite prison, not a show,
Ken might not.
prison movie is Blood In, Blood Out. I don't know
No
if
idea
you
what
guys
that
ever seen
is.
it. Blood In, Blood Out is an old movie. It's honestly, it's hard to find. I can't even buy it off Google TV or.
Was it like a fighting movie?
It's a prison movie about this guy growing up in Central LA and then becoming the head of I think it's some kind of Mexican cartel or something like that.
MS-13?
No, it's not MS-13, but
There you go.
MS-13 isn't Mexican, by the way. It's a South American gang. Not that it matters.
I learned something new today.
The number one show.
I do that.
The number one show is Breaking
Shut
Bad.
up, Greg.
Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is number 1
The number
rated
one
on
rated
IMDb.
IMDb show.
I could see that.
And The Wire was number 2?
Yep.
I mean, Breaking Bad was a good show. Don't get me wrong.
I felt like Breaking Bad to me took like a season or 2 to.
It did need to ramp up a little bit, but
yeah.
it always kind of threw curveballs and type stuff.
One
at
thing
you.
that sticks out most to me with Breaking Bad, remember when he's in the meth house and the little kid's there, and they steal the ATM machine, and the girl gets pissed off and fucking kicks the fucking ATM machine and it crushes that dude's head. Do you remember that part?
I don't remember. I'll be
It was
honest.
when what's his name was the fuck was what's his name?
I don't know.
Not Walter, but
I don't know any of their names.
the other main dude.
I forget.
Jesse.
Yeah.
Jesse was in there trying to sell meth, and they were like meth heads were trying to break this ATM machine open in their like meth house, and he's like underneath trying to like weld underneath to get the money out, and they start arguing all hide up, and she gets mad and kicks the fucking stump or whatever they had up, and you just watch it crush the dude's fucking head, and she just goes and sits on the couch like nothing happened.
I don't remember this.
I do believe that Jesse was a necessary character, but I never got into Jesse on Breaking Bad. Jesse is probably a shit character.
There you go. Casey has never been into Jesse.
No.
You heard it here first.
Or any other man, by the way.
Casey's sexuality.
You went.
Alright. I also
So, Breaking Bad. I had to do it, man.
I also have some of the best shows.
He was ready for that. He came back quick.
Go on.
Some of the best rated shows throughout history.
Well, I thought that's... I mean...
No, that's
just-
just IMDb rated.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about the highest rated shows throughout time.
Throughout time.
Right, and I'm gonna lump all these first ones together, because we've generally never seen them. We weren't really alive while they were going on. But
You don't know what I've seen?
all right, I mean, I'm sure you've heard of or seen some of these shows, but to have like actual memories of like going through the seasons, you know what I mean? For example, in the 50s and 60s, it was like I Love Lucy.
I've seen I Love Lucy. Yeah.
Right. But, I mean, you don't remember specific episodes, really, do you?
Definitely not.
I'm just talking about, and that's why I'm lumping all these together, is because these are shows that are very popular, you probably heard of, you might have seen an episode or two, but you don't remember them specifically.
Well, actually, I remember one episode where I think they were like making like cookies on like an assembly line or something, or something. They were doing some baking shit.
I do fairly
remember
remember
Lucy
that,
was
yeah.
doing some baking
Right,
shit.
and it became a giant mess. I do remember that.
So don't tell me I don't know.
And that one was like the highest rated show to watch for almost a decade.
Right. That's fair. That's a fair assessment.
And now I'm just gonna start mixing in some of these. You can tell me if you ever seen them, or I've never even heard of Gunsmoke.
Gunsmoke was a western, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Gunsmoke?
I've
never
heard of it. I've never seen it though.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
This is probably all his parents and shit watch.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've never seen Gunsmoke before. Is it good? I mean,
You're asking the wrong person.
okay.
In other words, it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks ass.
It was ingrained into my brain whether I liked it or not.
Okay.
Put it that way.
Throwing Beverly Hillbillies in there.
Beverly Hillbillies.
All right, that's a
Okay.
good show.
All right, fair enough.
They made a movie, I think, too.
I also
Yeah.
don't know what Bonanza
It's
is.
fucking that's another western. No. Go back to the Beverly Hillbillies.
Beverly Hillbillies,
The movie that they made that was with fucking Jim Barney, right? The guy from fucking Ernest Goes to Camp.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Wasn't he
yeah.
the dude in that?
Yeah.
Ernest Goes to Camp.
Yep.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Sorry,
R.I.P.
Bonanza, never
Is he
seen.
dead?
He's been dead.
sorry, Jim Barney.
Bonanza, I've never seen Bonanza.
Bonanza is another western one.
I don't think that one. I don't think I've ever seen that. If I did,
I've never seen it either, but I know. Kind of like how Gunsmoke was a western thing.
We got All in the Family, which I don't know what that is really. I think it's
It sounds like a
show.
fucked up name for a porno.
Yeah, with
fucked up.
I mean, for that show was actually very popular. I think it
Hang on a
was
second. Let's back up a second here.
5 years highest rated.
Of course it was. When was the time frame?
I don't have the time frame exactly written down. I just kind of, like I said, I just lumped all these kind of together. But we are moving forwards in time. So so I Love Lucy, then Gunsmoke.
I want to say that it was probably late 90s. I could be wrong. It might be earlier than that.
It's probably earlier than that.
If you know when All in the Family was out, let us know down in the comments.
And then we have Dallas after that.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Dallas, I forgot about that show.
Oh, yeah. Okay. In that case, All in the Family was back in late 70s, early 80s.
Right. Now we're moving into stuff that we've probably watched. and can remember specific episodes for. We have the Cosby Show. We're not talking about Bill Cosby.
No!
I'm talking about the show. Very popular show for a good long time.
Very popular show, yes.
Mr. Huxtable. No, nobody wants to say anything about it?
I'm not saying shit about Cosby right now.
Alright.
I'm just trying not to laugh.
Alright, now, and then...
as soon as you said it, bro.
I guess we'll just move on to Cosby's.
I know. Fair enough.
But to be in a progressive light, the Cosbys were the first black family on television.
Well, I mean, what about the Jeffersons?
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Come
the
on,
Jeffersons.
motherfucker.
What about Sanford and Son?
Okay, the highest rated, one of the highest rated.
The Jeffersons was pretty high rated.
But it was not. It wasn't the top show.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was top, but I mean, I don't know.
You never watched?
Do you
Sanford
have
and
Nielsen
Son?
ratings for these shows?
I have. These are the shows that said they were the highest rated in their time, moving forward.
Okay. Fair enough.
Sanford and Son's good to this
Sanford
day.
and
Sanford
Sons
Son,
was
yeah, fucking Red Fox,
Yeah.
with his fucking
Awesome.
broke ass fucking pickup truck.
Yeah.
All right, so color me wrong. Other than the fact,
Don't say that. Don't say
all right.
I would color you wrong.
Next,
in a progressive way.
Anyway, moving on.
All right, Roseanne.
Roseanne, okay.
Oh, I forgot about that show.
John Goodman, man. I love John Goodman as an actor.
It is a really good show. I watched a lot of repeats of Roseanne.
He's actually on this new show with the Righteous Gemstones on HBO.
I've never.
The fucking Danny Bride show you were fucking talking about the other week.
Oh.
Yeah. And you were like, oh, there's a new show coming out. I was like, no, they already got one season out.
I didn't know that. I was like, oh, Danny McBride, gotta watch it.
It's not
As good as I think it is.
as good as you want it to be. I'll tell you that.
That's better words.
It was basically Roseanne, just a comedy show for lower, kind of more.
On top of that, the
middle-class
fucking
family.
one dude from shit, what's that other show? Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, Big Bang Theory. Yeah,
That's where he got his start too, right?
Yep.
I believe
Which one?
the
Sheldon?
No.
not Sheldon.
The curly hair
main
guy.
guy. Fuck, I can't remember.
It's not important.
Yeah. Not important. There we go. You heard it
Moving
first.
on.
He's not even one of the good parts of Big Bang Theory, to be honest with you.
That's right.
The
What's his
comic
name?
book dude is fucking
With a
probably
lot of hair. Big tits.
Yeah, that's true.
What is her? Kelly Coco?
Cheers. I got Cheers in there.
Cheers.
I watched a lot of Cheers.
Who's your favorite character on Cheers?
The mailman. I can't remember what his name is.
Carl.
It wasn't Carl. The
I
name's
think,
not Carl.
no, Cliff.
Cliff. Yeah, Cliff's my favorite character on Cheers.
Cliff. Oh no, mine was Norm.
Norm. Okay, so they were just best buds anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Norm! He just wasn't Norm!
Yeah.
Cliff walks in and everyone's like,
Yeah. Cliff was kind of the butt of the joke a lot of the times, but I mean that's why he was such a lovable character.
Yeah, so let's go back in time for a second. Leave It to Beaver wasn't on that fucking list.
I didn't see Leave It to Beaver on the list when I was running through. I mean, it was a very popular show, but it wasn't one of the highest rated shows.
yeah, I would venture to say that Leave It to Beaver was probably...
It might have been before I Love Lucy also. That
is a pretty old
I didn't
show,
get to. Yeah. Next up, we got Home Improvement.
Yeah.
You got a cover. It's not really a mustache. It's just like a cover. You use the laptop as a fence. You could only see the top of his face.
Yeah. Didn't you reveal his face at the end?
I've seen his face. I don't know if he revealed his face in the show or not. But the Home Improvement, my favorite parts were always when they were doing the show on and said something blew up or caught on fire or something always bad happens to Al.
They were trying to supercharge something in some way, shape, or form.
They always had a live audience there.
Al's always getting burned or something.
Always with his flannel.
Yeah. Next up we got Seinfeld. I like Seinfeld. I watch clips of it every now and then.
Yeah, Seinfeld's an interesting one for me because I did enjoy it at the time, but I don't think it's aged as well.
Right.
As I think it should have.
I think some of these shows just don't age well. I mean, we can run back through. I think Cosby Show aged pretty well for reruns until, of course, the whole Cosby situation, and then now it's no longer aired. I think Roseanne is pretty funny if I go back and watch it. Cheers, I still watch Cheers. I still find that entertaining. Home Improvement, I still find entertaining. Seinfeld, maybe not as funny as it used to be. Maybe just never was that funny.
Jerry Seinfeld's hit or miss for me.
Right.
Like, he's funny on occasion, but a lot of the times I just don't find it funny.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like that dry humor, kind of.
Yeah, I can see that. Next we got ER. ER was, I think I probably watched the first season of ER when it was on, but
Isn't that the show that made George Clooney fucking famous?
Yeah, it is the show that made George Clooney famous. Yeah.
He was in that?
Yeah. The first season or two, I think he was in it. I think he died in a bus accident or something.
And then he went on to make millions in the movie business.
Yeah.
Woo!
Then we got Friends. I probably watched a lot of Friends.
Man.
Yeah. But that's a show that hasn't aged well either.
The only time I ever watched Friends was when I had to, or I was trying to bang my high school girlfriend.
Right.
And she was in that phase where it's like, oh, gotta watch Friends, gotta watch Friends, gotta watch Friends. And I was like, oh, dude.
Well, some people, I guess, were addicted to this show.
I don't know.
See what happened?
Jennifer Aniston aged pretty well.
Yeah, Jennifer Aniston has aged pretty well.
That's probably one of my cougar crushes.
I'll be honest, I probably do all three of those broads on that show.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were all attractive in their own way.
Jennifer Aniston's definitely.
That's right, especially if I can get Courtney Cox to do the fucking goddamn Miami Dolphins cheerleader outfit that she put on. Was that from Ace Ventura?
I think I don't know if it was Ace Ventura. I don't remember Courtney Cox being in a cheerleader's outfit.
Yeah.
This
I think
might have
Maybe not, but if you're out there
might have
Courtney
been
Cox
some-
and you want to put on a Miami Dolphins cheerleader outfit.
This is when he was in his private session, if you know what I mean.
Okay. We're going to move on now to CSI. CSI became the most popular show on television. I don't really have much to say about CSI.
I don't care about it.
It's like a cop show.
Teaching criminals how to get away with crimes.
This next show was popular for a very long time. From 2003 to 2010, American Idol was the number one show on television.
God damn it.
That's when we start breaking into... I mean, Survivor was up there for a year also, but I didn't mention it. But
you start going off with some reality TV shit, man.
That's the last reality. Well, I guess you would say the next show is the reality TV show in general too, but it's not what you think.
He popped the cap on.
From 2010 to present.
I'm ready to go. Let's go.
From 2010 to present, the top-rated TV show
America's Got Talent
is Sunday Night Football. Ever since that moment, ever since American Idol, the top-rated TV show on a consistent basis is Sunday Night Football.
Sunday Night Football. How is that on a consistent basis? Being there
It's every
only
Sunday.
16 Sunday Night Football games.
Well, look, you have to think. You
The
have to think about
numbers.
this. It's a season. Every single one of these shows is a season, and the NFL season is also a season.
I feel an underlying
Yeah,
point.
I don't
have a
really
point.
think that that's the way I believe that it should work.
I mean, that's just the way.
I think Ken's trying to be insidious here with this
I'm not.
football.
I'm really not. But this, I looked this up.
Next year!
It's not an insidious. That is the way. When I was actually shocked to see that too, because I wouldn't have considered to football to be like a show. But if you think about it in a way, it's kind of.
I mean, to an extent. To an extent, it's a
Form of entertainment.
I don't think it should be. I don't think that a sporting event should be considered a show. I will say this: it is an event.
It is an event.
It is not a show. It is not a television show.
All right.
In my personal opinion.
Well, then you're gonna.
You better reconsider your number one, Ken.
You're gonna really hate the number one thing that's always watched on television is the Super Bowl. That's only once a year.
Underlying turn.
Sunday Night Football to the Super Bowl. There you go. You're here first.
This was not my intention going into this, to be honest with you. My intention was not to make football a thing. But if you want to consider Sunday Night Football to be a show, which you could make the argument, you could make the argument, but I could make the argument for. But it is the number one watched, consistently based,
and I also
show slotted on television.
don't consider the Super Bowl to be a show.
All right. So then if you don't want to count that, then I don't know what.
Well, you got to figure out one and two now. At this point.
I don't have to figure anything out.
He says that these are the highest rated shows.
I don't have to figure anything out. This is just what the way it was on when I looked it up. This is what they consider a show.
Did you skip the Sports Center for the 1 and 2, or was it from the same website when you did that list?
All of these were on the same website.
Are you asking if you found that on ESPN.com?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying he went to 3, then switched to ESPN.
The Ocho. He got all that information from the Ocho.
This is what I looked up. I looked up top rated TV shows. That's what I looked up. I found it on Wikipedia, and I used Wikipedia. So this is all from I Love Lucy up to the Sunday Night Football was all in Wikipedia.
Yes.
Which, I mean, you can't really trust Wikipedia.
You got it from Wikipedia?
Yeah.
There you go. You heard it here first.
I don't. What? You can trust. You can not 100% trust Wikipedia on all issues, but on basic numbers.
When it comes to sports,
on basic numbers, you can use that kind of source. I wouldn't trust it for looking up the history of Joe Biden or anything, because you're probably going to get some bullshit. And I guarantee you, if you look Trump up on Wikipedia, it's full of lies. But you should be able to trust them on trying to figure out what the most popular.
I think you trust this particular source because NFL is the 1 and 2 on the list.
I think that statement is out of line because that wasn't my intent.
Oh yeah, you're out of line. You're out of line. Jesus.
I love it.
Wow. Wow.
I think you need to check your sources.
I think we need we need to transition this into our first episode of Fight Around the World with Roy Flagel.
I love when he gets flustered, the vein in the middle of his voice. It's so funny.
Alright, bring it to... Yeah.
And that's the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Throw you in a ditch!
Ladies and gentlemen,
do you think it's his intent to be thrown in a ditch and caught on fire one day? Do you think that's his goal in life?
What, his goal or my goal?
His goal.
His goal?
I don't know, you've been thinking about it all
He'd probably be happier.
Yeah,
I would be happier.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here for what will be episode 12 of the Bangcast. We talked about television shows,
NFL.
different aspects of television shows, different
Look at the man's
different
popping
kinds
out
of stuff. NFL. You know, he's over there thinking. He's thinking. Anyway, I am, of course, Gregor Guy, joined here by Mr. Casey and Mr. Cuz. Ladies and gentlemen out there, have a lovely evening.